Racing takes place out at Turffontein on Saturday, the 10th of February 2024. We've got a 9-race program to look forward to. Race number 1 commences at 12:05. And joining me on the line is Alistair Cohen. Alistair, how's everything going your side?
Yeah, everything's good, thanks, Raheel. Obviously, the Thursday card at Turffontein looked very, very trappy, and it turned out that everyone had a good day. I mean, there were 2 winners of the Hollywood Punters Challenge. They scooped nearly 400,000 Rand each for tipping all 8 winners on the card, which looked impossible going into the race meeting, but clearly there's some very clever people out there. I must confess, with this card, the first time I looked at it, I was actually quite deflated. The small fields just took a little bit of the wind out of the sails, and you're not going to get Guineas Day, Classic Day, Derby Day, Med Day, July Day all the time, but I think for what is not a feature race meeting, there's still enough quality on the card. I mean, the first few maidens, well, when I say the first few maidens, the middle maidens of the card don't look all that strong, but with that said, I think once we get to races 7 and 8, we could be in for a treat, and I'm really looking forward to race 1 as well to see if Pistol Pete is all the rage, but we'll get there in just a moment.
Oh, well, let's get into it, because Pistol Pete is quite a strong favourite at 11-20 in the market in race number 1, which is a Juvenile plate over the 1,000 metre trip, and the exotics begin in race number 2 as it is a 9-race program. The call from the Candice Dawson yard, Address the Nation, is at 22-10. It's then 7-1 in Better Ball, though. So it's just 2 horses that are wanted in the market. But number 2, Pistol Pete, he's the one that has found quite a bit of support. And he beat Ready Set Fire as he liked on debut. Ready Set Fire was 5 lengths behind Address the Nation. And his form has obviously been franked with Fire Attack coming through to win. And these 2 horses set the standard. Pistol Pete possibly has just got the racing fitness on his side, given that it was just 25 days ago when he made his debut.
To the eye, Raheel, Pistol Pete looked very impressive when winning first time out. He was rumoured to be unbeatable, and he won in very, very good terms. He beat Ready Set Fire by 2 1/4 lengths, which is obviously something to take note of. But Address the Nation beat Ready Set Fire by 5 1/4 lengths. So I'm not sure that the betting is a fair reflection just using Ready Set Fire as a gauge. What I can report about Address the Nation, and I don't often hear my wife talk about a horse like this, he's jumping out of his skin back at home. So he's an inside draw in a small field. I mean, if it was a big field, you'd be worried about draw 1 down the straight at Turffontein stand-side track. But I think the market's skewed. I think it's going to get a lot closer. Like I said, to the eye, there's no doubt that Pistol Pete was more impressive than Address the Nation. Address the Nation really had to put his head down over the final few strides to struggle. Fire Attack, who, as you rightly say, has come out and franked the form. But put it like this, although I would tentatively, without my husband Cat on, I would tentatively say that Pistol Pete is the right one. I think Address the Nation will get close. Just watch the market on this horse, Simric, the son of Vercingetorix, a half-brother to Egyptian Mao. Very good looker at the sales. It was no surprise to see him go past R1 million in the sales ring at Nationals last April. If there's a touch of support, that would be interesting, but he'll have to be good to turn over numbers 2 and 1.
Yeah, numbers 1 and 2 in the market. Both these horses expected to fight out the finish and run first and second. Race number 2, a Juvenile plate for the fillies over the 1,000 metre trip. 12:40 is the contest. Now, probably a race that's not as exciting as the first race, but the only horse that has won here is number 1, You Bring Me Joy, who's got to concede weight all around 3 kgs, and she's a horse that just got the job done last time out, beating Quid Pro Quo, who ran a good race against winners in KZN just this past Sunday, and she was far from disgrace, running second. And then you've got Force 8 who's won from that form line, so it's obviously standing up. But this horse, Peace of Mind, she was beaten behind Almond Sea, and when you have a look at Peace of Mind and You Bring Me Joy when they ran on debut, there was very little that separated them behind Almond Sea, and with 3 kgs swing at the weights, could you see Peace of Mind turning the form around? I could see it happening.
First of all, Raheel, you summed up this race, probably not quite as exciting as race number 1. I'm a little bit tentative with this race, because when you consider Almond Sea looked like, for now, probably looks like the best 2-year-old in Joburg, and she was given an exhibition gallop 18 days before this race meeting at the Val on the 23rd of January. That was a World Sports Betting Cape Town Met Week, and something had to run second. And to me, Peace of Mind, although well beaten by a very, very smart filly, if Almond C really wanted to, she could have made Peace of Mind double figures behind like she was first time out. Now, I know that you're using the first run on Betway Summer Cup Day as your reference with You Bring Me Joy and Peace of Mind. And yes, I can see that form turning around. But with that said, is that form strong enough? Is it solid enough? So I'm going to take an alternative stance and say that number 2, Emblem of the Sun, might end up being the right one here. And Pila Sunday and Poli showed very good wherewithal and pace on debut, just faded over the closing stages. Could have been any number of reasons. Inexperience, not ready for 1160 meters. Could have been any amount of reasons why she just didn't finish off her race. So I think Paul Match has been shrewd dropping her back to 1,000 meters. I can see number 2, Emblem of the Sun, really troubling these two horses. I do have a lot of respect for numbers 1 and 5. It must be said, You Bring Me Joy and Peace of Mind. But Emblem of the Sun, I think, is going to trouble them in race number 2. It might look like a shallow start to the bar pot, but it's not a very easy start to the bar pot.
This filly Jet Set lady, she's got quite a bit of speed in her pedigree, and the horses that she's related to, Setko, I mean, he won twice as a juvenile, and I think Candace Dawson trained him as well.
Ashley Fortune, wasn't it?
I'm not sure. You could be right.
Yeah,
you could be right.
I think it was Ashley Fortune. But yes, you're right, related to a lot of precocious horses, a lot of 1,000-meter horses. I look at the jockey arrangements and think that Peter Sunday would have the choice from the match at yard, but also not inconceivable the number 4 Jet Set lady is precocious and forward enough to run a nice race. Like I said, small field, obviously one scratching, so a field of 6, but I wouldn't feel safe with less than half the field in the opening leg of the bar pot.
Yeah, race number 2 does look to be a bit of a trappy contest. Race number 3, this is a maiden plate for fillies and mares over 1160 meters. 1:15 the off time, the start of the place accumulator. Your favorite is number 6 from the Mike de Kock yard. Diego de Gavea takes a ride, 18-10. Dow Solo at 5-2. It's Enchanting Lady at 7-2. It's then 7-1 and better ball those. Now this filly from the Mike de Kock yard, she's obviously bred to possibly enjoy further, and she's related to Ablon, who hit the track running, winning his first 2 starts, but didn't really fire after that. And then you've got this daughter of Water Winter, who's related to Triple Fortune and was a 500,000 rand purchase, trained by Diane Stenger, and she's around 7-1 in the market. So it's obviously a race that's not going to take a lot of winning, and both these first timers don't need to be 100% at their peak, and they don't need to have all of the ability in the world to get the job done on debut.
No, they don't at all, and certainly according to pedigree, I'm more in favour of number 8, Winter in Paris. But with that said, Diane Sting is not known to tune up her first-timers. I think Diane's a very underappreciated trainer. If you think back to Jamaica and all the other great horses that she's been a part of in yesteryear, and I'm not too sure that Diane's the type of person who's going to be out there looking for another barn. I think she's happy with her set number of horses with the good owners that she's got. But I think if you give her a good one, she will make waves with it. So number 8, Winter in Paris, despite not coming from a yard that gets first timers ready and raring to go, they'll come into their own in time. And also when you think that she's a What a Winter out of a Duwali mare, out of a very good Duwali mare who was owned by Sven Govender, who owns Address the Nation, and I was actually chatting to him over the weekend. Louvre touched off by Beach Beauty in the Garden Province back when she was running, and that's how good the mare was. And as you mentioned, produced Triple Fortune. You know, you'd assess that the fact that she's got that type of breeding and she's starting as a 3-year-old in February, you know, has she been behind the 8 ball? Has she been allowed just to grow into herself? I don't know, but certainly on pedigree, she makes the most appeal. You're right about number 7, Rawayana, the daughter of Silvano. I'd expect her to come into her own over further, but with that said, how good does she have to be to feature in a race this shallow over 1160 meters? And then when you have a look at Del Solo versus Enchanting Lady, well, they've met each other twice. It's 1-1 between the two. Which race do we take at face value? I don't know if we can take either of them at face value. I think Enchanting Lady's needed a couple of runs to come into herself. So behind Work of Time, Del Solo's got the measure of Enchanting Lady. And then again behind JJ's Eagle, Enchanting Lady's got 3 lengths to play with Del Solo. But Del Solo returned not striding out. So who knows what to make of that. I think if the tongue tie makes any difference with Del Solo, she might just have the edge over Enchanting Lady. But again, you wouldn't want to go to war with those two. So watch the market with the first timers, especially numbers 6 and 8. But of the race runners, I would lean towards number 1, Dow Solo, over number 2, Enchanting Lady. But don't hold me to it between those two. I think they are battlers.
Yeah, race number 3, a race that's not going to take a lot of winning. Race number 4, the start of the pick 6, 1160 meters. This is a maiden plate that has got Van Mael at the top of betting boards at 9 to 10. 5 to 2 about Strewn Sky, and Action 28 to 10. Green Fame 8 to 1. And then it's double figure odds about the bottom 2. Now, this horse Van Mael, he's flattered to deceive, because he's a horse that ran a fair race on debut, and his next start at Hollywoodbets Scottsville, I think everyone expected him to get the job done, and he moved up like a winner, but he had enough going through the 200, and he had to settle for 3rd position, and he's been gelded, but he hasn't really kicked on and showed that he's close to winning. It does look to be the right type of race for him, Alistair, but his last start, I was terribly disappointed with it. What's your thoughts on this race? He'll probably get the job done, but I don't know if I'm willing to take my chances and banker him in the start of the pick 6.
Don't think you can banker him, but I've got a lot of time for the horse coming off a layoff, number 5, Strewn Sky, who's related to a few horses that got a trip, including Smoking Hot, who was a listed feature winner, a daughter of Silvana. She ran second in the Oaks trial as well. But with that said, number 2, Van Mael's very, very well-bred son of Dynasty. I'm convinced he's got a win in the locker somewhere, and he might be the type of horse, when he wins, he might come out with a generous rating and win a couple. To what level he gets to, I don't know. I don't think he will get to feature race level, but he has been disappointing. I'm willing to say that the last run was taken on after a race that may have taken the wind out of a sail. I didn't actually like him last time out, and the only reason why I'm making a case for him is because the rest of this field is ordinary, Raheel. And as you say, if he's going to get it right, this is the type of race he'll get it right in. So, 2, Van Mael, I wouldn't quite classify him as last chance saloon, but very, very close to last chance saloon for the son of Dynasty. If he can't at least run close here, then I think they're in a touch of trouble. Strewn Sky is definitely worth a chance. He's a beautiful son of Patala Palace. I remember him on debut. I remember chatting to Johan Janssen van Vuren about him. He thinks that there's a racehorse there. Obviously, they've been set back. He last ran on the start of the season at the 1st of August when he finished 5.5 lengths behind Copper John. Copper John's still a one-time winner, but banging at the door. So I think number 5, Strewn Sky, certainly bears watching under Henny Kroon. It'd be great for Henny to get into the number 1 box, because he is a very hard worker at Johan. He's got interests in various avenues, does Henny, hence he doesn't ride too much on race day anymore. But yeah, it would be great if Johan can provide Henny with a winner, and Henny can provide Johan and the Verners with a winner. So 2 and 5 for me in the opening leg of the pick 6. 1 and Action, gotta have a chance. On first run would be a huge runner. On next 2 runs, God knows what happened there. But yeah, the son of Fire Away, I suppose, got to be respected to an extent, but I'm certainly more in the corner of the stable companion. So 2 and 5 for me in the opening leg of the pick 6. One of them in the place accumulator. In the bar, I'll probably go with both.
And that's race number 4, the start off the pick 6 at 13.50. Race number 5, this is over 1,800 meters. A maiden plate for fillies and mares, 25 past 2 is the off time, and Dynamo and number 7, Valero E. Mambo tops the boards at 2 to 1. It's 4 to 1 Dynamic Glass, 11 to 2 Arctic Vixen, Darlin Harbour, and then it's 14 to 1 and Better Bar those. Now it's another race that's not going to take a lot of winning, but this filly from the Mike de Kock yard, she ran behind DeMarco's Jet. We saw that form Frank yesterday with Sound Machine coming through to win. So she's obviously a filly that's only had 2 starts, and she's open to quite a bit of improvement now, going over a trip that should suit her quite nicely. And then you've got number 1, Donna Mo, who was held behind midwinter win, but in fairness, it was a one-horse race last time out, and anything could run 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and so on in that contest, and she happened to run 3rd. And I just feel that this filly from the Mike de Kock yard could be the one to beat.
I'm very keen on Dynamo here. I've got 3 horses in my jackpot 1, which is my suggested bet. They are 1, 3, and 7. And the reason why I'll make a case for Darling Harbour, I'll reveal to you in a moment. But I like Dynamo here, as you say, midwinter win, who I give a huge winning chance later on in the card. Had their number. This looks to be a pretty shallow maiden. The daughter of Royal Mo, the mother is a winner over 1,800 meters. So Dynamo going this trip for the first time. 3rd run in Joburg. So I'd anticipate that she'd be coming to her peak now. Cabello Mazzaniani fresh off a double at Turffontein on Thursday. There's just enough in her favour. I thought her first run in Joburg was also good behind Sukhumvit, who I still think is above average despite a miss a week earlier on Guineas Day, on Volkerbos Phillies Guineas Day. I just think that she's going to be due a reward for consistency, and with what I'm about to reveal, I think Donna Mo is just going to have her day here. I do respect number 7 Valaria Mambo and 3 Darling Harbour. Valaria Mambo is related to Mambo Camtesio, who only came into his own when tried over distance. It's the first time the daughter of Mambo in Seattle goes this type of distance. Now, in the race to Regal Daughter, Darling Harbour ran next to DeMarco's Jet. DeMarco's Jet finished 3 lengths in front of Valaria Mambo. Can we expect much it's purely on paper, Darling Harbour and Valaria Mambo, although Valaria Mambo's got improvement to come? What you also need to remember is that Darling Harbour's not expected to win over 1,600 metres. She's expected to win when she goes 2,000 metres, like she showed in her penultimate start behind Martinique, and I will confess that it's a very, very weak piece of form. But just purely on indirect form and using DeMarco's Jet as a reference, there shouldn't be too much to choose between Darling Harbour and Valaria Mambo, despite the fact that the latter has got some improvement to come. So I'm just going to keep that debate open-ended, because again, last time, everything that could go wrong for Darling Harbour did go wrong, and the form has been franked, as you mentioned, with DeMarco's Jet coming out of that form. There's another one who came out and franked that form, the horse who ran third, although the second horse, Cadizora, ran no sort of race subsequently as well. So I may be being quite soft on the Dawson Yard in this particular debate, but I think number 1, Donna Mo's got less chinks in her armour than the other 2 that I've included in the jackpot. Hence, she's my top choice.
Yeah, Patches of Grey and DeMarco's Jet coming through to win.
Grey, that's it, yeah.
Yeah, that's it. And those 2 horses have won from their form run, so it's obviously holding up quite nicely. And Donna Mo, let's see if she can get it right, having a third start in the Highveld. Race number 6, this is a maiden plate over 1,800 metres. And Mike de Kock has got the favourite here, Merodian Horde, who it was, I would say, a race that I don't think many guys want to go back and watch last time out, because it was quite a scary watch. Just watching this horse in running, I think you could tell that your money was gone somewhere out, because he just never seemed like he was going to get there. He came under pressure a long way out, and he only hit the line late on in the day. And obviously 1,800 meters will suit him. He's at 6 to 10 in the market. He could well be good enough in this contest, but that piece of form, that is a huge question mark for me, because Blackberry Breeze was a shock winner in my opinion. But Alistair, your thoughts on race 6, Merodian Hall, all or nothing here?
Well, here he should win, shouldn't he? When I say I went against him last time, I was looking for a result with Merodian Horde, because I know the debut run that took him by surprise, took all the connections by surprise, hence the drift in the market from 5 to 1 to 8 to 1. And even though Presley had come out and franked his form and he's upwardly mobile, I still thought that run a little bit too good to be true, considering what the expectations were. So I played to beat him last time behind Blackberry Breeze. You can check the records on that, but Blackberry Breeze wasn't the horse I tried to beat him with. So I'm probably being foolish by trying to beat him here, because this is the first time over 1,800 meters. He should have got a lot closer last time, to be honest. As you say, you knew the writing was on the wall a long way out. He probably did well to get within 2 lengths to Blackberry Breeze, considering how everything went for Marauding Horde, and had things gone slightly differently, he probably wins that race, and there would have been egg on my face. So I'm probably being foolish. I'm probably being clever by trying. I'm not, for one, he's my top choice. There's no 2 ways about that. But in my jackpot, I've just left it open-ended for 1 dark silver and 3 remains of the day, just in case he flatters to deceive again and he's still a runaway and a furlong short of where he needs to be. That's my only line of thinking. In my heart of hearts, I don't think that will be the case. I think Marauding Horde should win. He's just got the best credentials in the race. And when you're taking on Dark Silver, who pushed Lamu Hull fairly close at his penultimate start, the run to Tunny player when going off to the front probably wasn't good enough. And then also with Remains of the Day, his last 2 runs, despite being pleasing, I'm not too sure the form lines are going to be worth much at the end of the day. So 7 Marauding Horde, easily my top choice, but just, I don't know, I'm probably being foolish. Maybe I'm on my own here by suggesting 1 and 3 are worth putting in, but I've put them in just because if anything beats Marauding Horde, it's that he's a run and a furlong short of where he needs to be, but he shouldn't be.
Let's see how he goes in race number 6 at around 6 to 10 in the market. Race number 7. This is an MR 96 handicap over 1600 meters, 15:35 the off time. And Barbaresco tops the boards after a cracking run last time out, which has seen his rating only go up 3 points, which is when you take into consideration how close he got to main defender, who's rated a lot higher than him. That's actually quite a fair penalty of 3 points. And he's at 16 to 10. Silent War 33 to 10. 7 to 1. Home of the Brave 8 to 1. And better ball those. Now, Silent War ran third last time out behind Silver Hills over 1600 meters. We saw Unzen come through to frank that form when beating quite a useful field last weekend. He's got 61.5 kgs on the back. Whether he can concede weight to Barbaresco, that has got to be a question mark. But this horse, cracking run last time out off arrest. Alistair, do you think he can confirm that outing?
Well, I'll give you a little story of Barbaresco. On the second start, the connection were gutted that he got beaten by Sandringham Summit, not knowing who Sandringham Summit was going to turn out being. They hold him in high regard. The son of Give Me the Green Light. I was a short head away from bantering him in my jackpot, but I've ended up with 5 horses just because, the son of Give Me the Green Light tries a mile for the first time, and although I think you'll reach a mile, that could be a chink in his armor. So I've gone 1, 5, 6, 9 and 10 in my jackpot with Barbaresco, easily my top choice. You're right with Silent Wars running the Grand Heritage, where he ran on very strongly, was eye-catching. His last run at listed level in the Betway Wolfhour was a good run behind Silver Hills. Unzen beating some weight for age horses despite prepping just a week ago. Home of the Brave I've not included, rather. Number 5 on the card, Turpitz I thought he was a touch unlucky last time behind Laguna Verde. Had he got mobile by the stride earlier and had it not been the inside track, I thought he might have had a chance. Whispers of Wars always worth including. You never really know what you're going to get. On a going day, he's dangerous. And then number 10, Just Nuisance, off a lightweight from draw 1. With his confidence up, I've just got a little bit of time for. In fact, his rating dropped from winning a maiden into his handicap debut, so that might have been a favour done by the handicapper. He's obviously now up to an 89, but I'll just keep safe of him. But now Barbaresco, clearly the horse they need to beat.
Yeah, he's a runner that will have his second run after a layoff, and as you heard from Alistair, the yard were absolutely gutted when he got beaten at his second start, and he could be way better than the field that he does meet on Saturday. Race number 8, middle stakes of 1160 meters. 10 past 4 is the off time, and I Am Giant is your favorite at 33 to 10. 7 to 2 Moonshining Through. 9 to 2 Mount Pilatus. It's 5 to 1 Silver Tudor. It's 11 to 2 Ozenka. 7 to 1 and better bar those. You can scratch number 6 Bon Vivant. It's a field of just 9 runners that remain. Now, I Am Giant, he drifted out like he was no good last time out, and yeah, he probably ran accordingly, beaten behind a Power Broker. And we both thought that we obviously previewed the show prior to the running of Mete, and we thought that he ran behind Dice, and if Dice happens to come through and win the Cape Flying Championship, well, that just enhances the form. Dice did win the Cape Flying Championship, but this horse went the other way in the market, and he ran, as I mentioned, accordingly. Disappointing run, but could you see him bouncing back?
I definitely can. He went through the online sale during the week for over $500,000 to the Hollywood syndicate. Number 3, I Am Giant, so the pressure will be on to deliver. I think pound for pound, he's the best horse in the race, certainly right now, and despite his well-documented problems, you can see how sparingly raced he's been. If he feels all right on the day, he should be too strong, but sadly, he's, again, not really the type of horse you want to go to war with, because he does have a few issues. So the backup comes in the form of number 4, Moonshining Through, who is the best weighted horse in the race, especially after the stretching of Bon Vivant. Diego de Gavea takes her out on this daughter of Rafif. She can also get up to no good before a race, so watch her behaviour, see how she's doing on the way down to the start. She normally gets hacked down by the rider, so if Moonshining Through isn't throwing a performance before the race, and that will enhance her chances. 7 Mount Pilatus, very, very interesting for me, this 3-year-old son of Pomodoro. Ryan Munger takes the ride. Drawn towards the outside, second run after arrest. At the weights, had absolutely no chance last time to Time for Orchids, who was weighted a good thing. I thought Mount Pilatus still ran nicely enough. That looked like a setup for races to come for the son of Pomodoro. whether he's 100% ready this time around remains to be seen, but I'll make him a big chance here. On the run to I Am Giant a few months back, he's got little chance at the weights, but I think he's developing, and I think he could turn into a nice horse to follow. And then 8 Silver Tudor, despite winning by a short head over Siberian Steel, who ran 4th, I think, subsequent to that. Serena Mudley got a nice tune out of the Son of Lance last time out, and he too can be dangerous. So I've gone 4 horses in my final leg of the jackpot. They are 3, 4, 7 and 8.
3, 4, 7 and 8 for Alistair in race number 8, the penultimate race on the program. Race number 9, this is an MR 85 handicap, I should say, over 1160 meters, 16:45 the off time, and there aren't any scratchings at this point in time. Favorite is number 3, Midwinter Wind at 28-10. He's got Ryan Munger in the irons. It's 11-2 about Cornwall, 6-1 There She Goes, 6-1 Water Tiger, Pontiac, and then it's 7-1 and Better Bar those. Now, Midwinter Win, he did what was required last time out, beating There's a Light, and he's probably got a suitable draw as well up the lane out at Turffontein. And you mentioned that you quite like his chances.
Well, there's a chance of rain on the Friday before this Turffontein meeting, so the high number draw up the straight becomes all the more beneficial, and being drawn 12 out of 12 over 1160 on the Turffontein standside track will be gold dust if that rain does in fact arrive a day before, which will be needed. It's been blazing hot in Joburg of late. So number 3, Midwinter Wind, I think could well be above the curve. Well-bred Son of Water Winter, he couldn't lose last time over there. As a lad said, he got beaten there. There would have been serious head scratching going on. Not often Sean Terry scratches his head, but I think he would have had he got beaten at 1-3 last time out in that field. There's something about the Son of Water Winter he's held in high regard. It'll be a sufficient test to see exactly where to go to from here, whether they can test the waters at some sort of light feature. There's that Gold Rush sprint coming up, not the Gold Rush, but it's the Gold Rush sprint up in Joburg in about a month from now, so that could potentially be a nice target for the Son of Water Winter. And I think that he should win, and I think he can win. I think he should win, and from there there'll be a nice few avenues to open up. So I think this is a reliable landing spot for him straight out of the maidens. There are a few horses who obviously can trouble him. Water Tiger's in good heart. Cornwall punches above his weight. Cotinos can do absolutely anything. He's either win or bust. Whirly's a real crowd favourite at the ripe old age of 9, having his 82nd start, although I do prefer others. I think the handicapper might have the grasp of number 10 Whirly now on the back of his 2 wins, but he's always fun to follow. But I think number 3 Midwinter Win should win, and for me I would just about banker him the pick 6. If I didn't banker him, number 4 Water Tiger would be my backup.
Midwinter Win 28-10. He could possibly even be worth a punt on the head at that current quote, and he's a horse that has got far more improvement to come than any other runner in this field, and he's obviously a horse that is held in high regard by the yard as well. We're going to move along to the suggested bet now, and Alistair will take us through his suggested bet for racing on Saturday out at Turffontein, standside track. We know that it is a doubleheader, so looking forward to both meetings. But Alistair, take it away with your suggested bet.
Yep, which is jackpot 1. It gets underway at 2. So first leg 1, 3 and 7, Donamo, Darling Harbour and Velado and Mumbo. Then in the second leg, I'm not too sure why I haven't banked a number 7 Marauding Horde, but I'm going to try and look for a result there, probably foolishly. 1 Dark Silver, 3 Remains of the Day is back up to number 7 Marauding Horde. Then in race 7, 1 Silent War, 5 Turpits, 6 Whispers of War, 9 Barbaresco and 10 The Improver, Just Nuisance. And then the final leg of the jackpot, 3 I Am Giant, 4 Moon Shining Through, 7 Mount Pilatus and 8 Silver Tudor.
That is Alistair Cohen's jackpot for racing on Saturday. Alistair, thanks very much for your time. All the best. Enjoy racing down in the Western Cape tomorrow, and have a wonderful weekend.
Yeah, thanks, Rahil. I'll certainly be keeping my eye on everything at Turffontein. Be back in Joburg in the middle of next week for a number of days. So hoping to attend a couple of race meetings and get to a few trainers and see what's what. But yeah, thank you so much to all the punters. Hope it's a profitable and enjoyable weekend, and we'll catch up again soon.
Most definitely will. All the best, guys, with racing on Saturday out at Turffontein. Hopefully it's a profitable day's racing.